astronauts, this is Brandy and welcome back to Astro Tarot Research. So we are going to get into part 2 of the Black Beauty study. So I don't want to waste any more time. I have my phone because it would have taken too much ink and stuff and pages to print everything out. So if you see me looking down, it's at my phone. So sorry about that. I know that's not visually appealing, but I got to work with what I got. So let's just get into it. This time we will be revealing the popular moon signs, as mentioned in the sun sign video. Because many of the women did not have an accurate birth time, I had to use a 2-point system. This means I gave a point to each possible nakshatra placement the moon could have been in for that day. Secondly, because of the lack of birth time, this video may or may not be as long as the first. I'm not quite sure. I'm not done editing, right? I can't fully go into depth on the moon sign placements, but for the most popular moon signs placement, I will go into depth on the sun placement, because the sun, the moon, and the ascendant for an nakshatra placement will display very similar characteristics. So using the sun sign as a replacement to express the characteristics of the nakshatra, I believe will be very useful, as the sun, the moon, and ascendant will, as I said before, express very similar personality traits, interests, life patterns, and etc. Though I would say they are all very different in various different ways. Otherwise, both studies would have given the same results. We should not view these results as 100% accurate because of the lack of accurate birth time. However, that being said, the moon can only move 12 to 13 degrees within a day, so we will get a general area for the moon sign that is the most popular for Black women. Same as the last video, I will be using nakshatras and the Vedic system to explain their beauty, and I will insert the translated Western degrees. Top moon sign placement for beautiful Black women is the sun-ruled nakshatra of Uttara Phalguni. In second place, we have the Venusian-ruled nakshatra of Purva Phalguni. And tied for third is the moon sign placement of Asta, as well as Revati. Now let us dive into a deeper analysis of the results. It is important to note that Uttara Phalguni also scored highly in the sun-ruled chart. It was the third most popular sun sign placement for beautiful Black women. This placement also came up for attractive men in a study Claire Nakhti conducted on beauty and astrology. This shows that this nakshatra placement is important, or at least one of the most popular placements for beauty, regardless of gender. I also found it interesting to note that Venus, the planet of beauty, is in detriment when it is in Uttara Phalguni, meaning the planet is uncomfortable and disturbed. However, despite this, it seems to create a very beautiful physical appearance. Side note, before we get into the rest of the video, I have one favor to ask you astronauts, and that is for you to list your favorite Black male actors, singers, whoever you believe is attractive below, because I would like to create a study on Black male beauty, attractiveness, handsomeness, whatever you wish to call it. We also see Purva Phalguni appear again, but this time in a secondary position. It is clear that these two nakshatras are consistent when it comes to attractiveness. This is likely because Purva Phalguni and Uttara Phalguni are a pair. One of Purva Phalguni's symbols is the front two legs of a cot, aka the marital conjugal bed, and Uttara Phalguni is the back two legs of the cot. They are a working pair, and combined they represent the complete marital bed or bed of sexual pleasures. It is likely the nakshatra's connection to sexual pleasure, marriage, and partnership plays a large role in its connection to beauty, as most people would prefer to seek an attractive significant other or partner. It is clear that the Phalguni pairs strongly embody these characteristics of sexual magnetism and beauty. Now let us begin with my analysis of Uttara Phalguni. The personality of Uttara Phalguni natives can be described as headstrong.
What makes her different, say, from other characters that you've played or other characters who, have similar qualities but on other shows?
The fact that she's just so unapologetic. I mean, I think I put a little bit of me in every character that I play, and I think that's the one thing that I think is the through line, the fact that this is what it is.
Independent.
Look, Daddy, I appreciate what you and Mommy were trying to do for me, but I'm 18 now and I need to make my own decisions.
And wanting to do good.
Ow! Trust me, handcuffs would hurt a lot worse. Now take the dress out of your backpack and put it on the counter. All the clothes have security tags. You would have been caught at the door.
The general media profile of Uttara Phalguni natives is that of an action girl.
Can we actually have female action heroes?
Generally described as badasses who don't take any lip service from anyone.
Do you agree with this book that is being taught with kids that babies are racist?
Senator, I do not believe that any child should be made to feel as though they are racist or though they are not valued or though they are less than, that they are victims, that they are oppressors. I don't believe in any of that.
These women are depicted as going through any lengths to doing the right thing, even circumventing the law.
I'm Ash, your investigator. How aggressive I go is up to you.
They are tough and sexy. This action girl quality applies to all the sun-ruled women. If you are curious about popular roles for Uttara Phalguni women in the media, they are generally seen as superheroes, seductresses, the other woman, detectives, prostitutes, vigilantes, girlfriends and wives of athletes, girlfriends and wives of successful men, or the successful career woman, or cheerleaders or athletes themselves.
When you start out liking sports, you were mentioning back, even before women really played a lot of sports, you were a cheerleader that kind of got you onto the bus to be around sports. Is that right? Because you always loved sports.
I wanted to go to all the games, and the only way I could do it, because I was pre-Title IX, so there were no real sports programs for women when I was in high school.
They can often be portrayed as tomboys, as it is common for Uttara Phalguni women on screen and off screen to have interests in traditionally associated masculine hobbies or fields.
I can brew my own beer, and I have. I brew my own beer for years.
This includes an interest in sports and athletics.
And were you already a big NBA, like loving the NBA before you started to be a cheerleader, or?
Well, I didn't want to tell you, but I did play basketball. You are looking at a Milwaukee, Wisconsin state champion.
Wow.
MVP. Thank you.
Uttara Phalguni women will usually reject the traditional gender roles for women in Western society.
I think as much of a career woman as evolved woman as I believe I am, I think that I would be a really dope 50s housewife because I love to cook, I love to entertain, I like all of those things. I'm like, I think I could do that. What about you? How do you think you would fare as a 50s housewife?
Terrible. It's too much work. Too much work.
In some cases, they can look down on other women who prefer a traditionally feminine role, seeing themselves as superior for not displaying the expected gender signifiers.
He's that desperate that he's dating a cheerleader? That's like dating a life-size Barbie doll, except the doll's hair is real.
Sometimes they may even devalue the work and qualities conventionally associated with womanhood and femininity.
You didn't want my opinion. I don't even know why you asked.
I asked, but why does it always have to be so damn prissy?
What do you want me to say, Monica? Go over there and beat up the girl? Yes, I think decorum is important. And yes, I'd rather bake a pie than shoot a stupid jump-up shot. If that makes me too prissy for you, then that's just too damn bad.
It is because of this behavior that they will sometimes garner the title Pick Me.
I'm Angelina, you Jennifer. Come on, bitch, you see where Brad at.
However, there are several nakshatra placements which will garner this title of Pick Me for various reasons. Generally, it is because other women may not like their choices or how they present themselves, rather than suiting the actual definition of the phrase. Sun-ruled women's rejection of traditional femininity to the point of belittling other women who perform it can cause this label for them.
Lost at least 5 pounds.
I haven't noticed. Those khakis are falling off of you.
Thank you.
But now I'm hungry.
Oh my God, I'm starving. Commissary ice cream?
Up to the yes. So, Mackenzie, I have always been jealous of your willpower. I'm like a house ever since Mark invested in that new modern American bistro up the street. You would die for their artisanal sodas. Peach, lavender, rose petal. Yes, please.
I will say, I personally conducted a mini study of women who were considered pick-me's, or at least given the label. Those most commonly given the label of pick-me's were Sun in Jesta and Sun in Ardra.
Because we need more of that. You know what I mean? We need more men to stand up and lead the way. Most women are trying to be the leader. That's why you can't find a man.
And for moon signs, Moon and Revati. And out of all the nakshatras, Revati scored the highest points when combining Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. However, I digress. And align with this rejection of traditional femininity, they are more receptive to romantic and sexual interests from whichever sex they are attracted to. Traditionally, in Western society, women are told to play coy or to not to come off too forward or too strong. However, sun-ruled women are generally straight shooters and will sometimes become the pursuer.
I'll play you.
What?
One game, one-on-one.
For what?
Your heart.
Uttara Phalguni women are known for standing their ground and are unafraid to tackle any issue or subject. This is no surprise, as Virgo is the house of conflict. Uttara Phalguni women are leaders, powerful, and nobody's doormat.
Oh, hell no! Hell no!
However, they are different from sun-ruled men who are often hyper-minimalistic. Sun-ruled women can enjoy basking in luxury.
What's up, Emil? What you doing? Nothing, girl, just working.
Well, let's go shopping. Meet me at the spot.
However, they are not generally known for being materialistic.
What do you think about the amount of stuff people buy?
I think it's ridiculous. Even the amount of stuff I buy. Sometimes I look at the amount of lip glosses or I don't even know. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And I tell myself that like you have got to realize that there are more useful things to put your money towards. Yeah, we're excessive.
They may even use their sexuality to get what they desire from men who only value them for their beauty. And this quality of sun-ruled women is portrayed in media like Chirac, in which Tiana Paris plays a modern-day Lestrada. The story is about a woman who convinces all of the women of the Greek state to withhold sex from their husbands to end the Peloponnesian War. This modern-day twist takes place in the south side of Chicago and speaks to the plague of gun violence. Lestrada uses her sexuality to control men in order to bring peace. In real life, Lema Gibwe, Sun and Sharavana, Moon and Magna or Puva Phalguni, held down the end of the Liberian Civil War by organizing a sex strike. Uttara Phalguni women usually have two major temperaments. One, of the cool, calm, collected, and laid-back individual, or two, the fast-talking and generally bubbly demeanor.
I've always been this way, this bubbly, energetic type person.
Uttara Phalguni natives are known for their generally positive attitudes.
I'm pretty a positive person all the way around, so negative comments don't really affect me as much as they thought it would. It takes a lot to get me outside of my character.
Despite the situation, they are comedic, fun, and often described as someone you want to be friends with. And you will find many sun-ruled women smiling, even in situations that are uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're all still in love with her.
So they're all still.
They're all still in love with her. But me and Jazz are cool.
You love it though. Look at you love it though. What's happening out here?
No, I'm not saying no.
Uttara Phalguni, as a sun-ruled placement, harnesses a lot of energy and spreads in multiple directions. This makes them very active and laborious. These women will wear many hats. This is no surprise, as Uttara Phalguni is the beginning of Virgo, the house of work. The reclined state of Puva Phalguni comes to an end when this nakshatra begins.
When I first started, I had 3 jobs. I worked for a doctor as a receptionist. I worked at Music Plus when music stores actually still existed. And I worked for a temp service. Wow. I had 3 jobs while gigging.
damn girl, like from cheerleading to Sony Music.
I
like,
know, it's crazy.
No, but it amazes me because it's like you wear all the hats, and that's great. So why Sony Music? Why the music industry?
You know,
I
can sing too. No.
They are political and love spreading awareness on current issues.
Are you a political person today?
Absolutely. A political animal in every sense.
And when we talked about...
It is very common for Uttara Phalguni women to become activists.
I spent a lot of time advocating for youth girls in sports. When my daughters were all participating in basketball, soccer, baseball, tennis, swimming, you name it.
Similar to Venusian women and Saturnian women, they will speak out about representation and equality.
Also a beautiful moment is this young actor. I mean, it's stunning to hear he is the first cast.
He's the first actor with autism to actually portray in a movie and a character with autism, right? So very often we see tremendous actors and The Good Doctor and Atypical and other portraying characters on the spectrum, but they don't have autism, right? And that's fine, but we need representation. And this young man, oh my gosh, this young man, Nick Sanchez, when he fell into our lap, it was like, okay, now we can make this movie.
Uttara Phalguni focuses on everyday problems within the home and society, from divorce to a soldier coming home after war.
Now, why do you think this issue is so underexplored? Is it because we're just uncomfortable talking about it?
I think mental health as a rule is something we don't really talk about very well. I think it requires sitting in the story. I mean, we had to camp out and really literally live with the guys. You can't run in and tell a quick story around mental health. It's challenging. I think there's a tremendous stigma. Garrett, who we interviewed, talked about, the first time he started sharing that he was having some issues, and he immediately felt the repercussions, and he thought it was hurting his career to be honest about what he was struggling with. So, if you do that, I think you're going to set up a stigma where people don't necessarily want to get treatment because they want to get better, but they don't necessarily want to jeopardize their career or worry, make people worry about what they might do.
Instead of pulling away from vulnerability or problems of others, they lean into it, desiring for others to share their troubles, becoming a listening ear, or in order to help them to achieve their full potential. Like the sun shines its rays on a flower in order to blossom. This aligns with the sun, which is Sapphic, which means the qualities which give love, generosity, higher wisdom, knowledge, intelligence, forgiveness, and etc. Sun rule placements are described as having divine qualities, placements which help us grow closer to God and goodness. This translates to how sun-ruled women are concerned with the behaviors of themselves and others. There can be a strong desire to be a good person and wanting to go beyond the superficial and tackle the deep inner world of others and themselves. This is why sun-ruled women reiterate the message, it is what's on the inside that counts.
It seems today people are so concerned with how they look. People are so concerned on whether they're big or small or what they're wearing, and people are not really paying attention to what's going on inside. How they treat other people, how they treat themselves. And I think this will open people's eyes. I hope it does, because Sherman was such a beautiful person on the outside and on the inside. Because what's on the inside is what takes care of everything and what you really begin to see.
For me, the beauty, it can sound like really like, okay, my God, another one saying that the beauty comes from the heart. But I really believe that it's charismatic, the beauty.
All right, let's talk about the new single. It's called When You Look at Me.
Yes.
Did you write it? Because you wrote Play for Joan
Yes,
Rivers.
I wrote When You Look at Me, actually along with the producer and another writer. We wrote the song together. It's about, never judge a book by its cover. And often I found, I used to get judged a lot in high school. People always like, oh, or stereotyping me. Right. And I think it's just ridiculous. I try not to judge at all. And I think the only person that can judge is God.
They will want to set good examples in the world for others and surround themselves with people who feel the same. However, sometimes when facing their inner demons, they may pull away from others by putting up a wall, not allowing themselves to be seen as weak, and they may feel uncomfortable with showing a vulnerable side of themselves. Uttara Phalguni women are nurturing. Besides moon-ruled nakshatras, you can find many sun-ruled placements working or catering to children.
They're going to remember in their adulthood and going forward into their future. I hope that I can help motivate them and show them that there's so many great things for themselves if they just believe in themselves.
They are very big advocates for family units and will defend who they love with a vigorous passion. They recognize marriage can be work, and when in love will put effort into their partnerships to keep them together.
It is I Love You Day on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And, you know, since you got me
You're not good.
Since you got me really good at the proposal, it's my opportunity to get you back. I love you.
Thank you. I love you.
It becomes obvious as to why Uttara Phalguni is the star of friendship. Uttara Phalguni women have a reputation for having challenging love lives. They're often open about their struggles. Uttara Phalguni women can position themselves as go-tos for long-lasting relationship gurus.
You and Will have been together, is it 20 years you've been married?
It will be, yes, we celebrate 20 this year.
What's the secret?
You know, I think it's just friendship. I think you really have to be friends. And I think that you also have to be able to go off and find your own happiness. You need two people that are willing to come together as happy people, and then you together in your partnership can heighten the happiness.
The family unit becomes a huge center of importance in these natives' lives. Uttara Phalguni natives can sometimes be portrayed as disloyal, or you can find Uttara Phalguni natives opposed to traditional monogamy. Fidelity can become one of the central issues in their lives, as some use sex or sexuality as a way of dealing with emotional turmoil or dissatisfaction in their partnership. However, it is more common for moon-ruled people to express themselves in this manner. Side note, this relationship guru status is different from Jupiterian individuals who are often seen as dating coaches or pickup artists in some sense.
Learn to open, learn how to start a conversation, and then say pleasure meeting and leave. Learn how to start a conversation and then do something fun and interesting, then leave, and then learn how to make an emotional connection and learn the next pieces. So while this might not seem like, seduction or attraction per se, it is just a great way to have people enjoy themselves, and that's really on the base level what you want to do.
You can have a vehicle, a home, anything in your possession. You can hold it dear. It could be supremely important to you. But when you put it on the market decides, and there's an upper limit and a lower limit. It doesn't really matter if you think the low is too low or the high is not high enough. That's what the market is willing to pay for it, and that is its overall value. That has been with us forever. And when we start talking about that, we're dealing with people. It really throws people off because it seems so cold, so calculated. But like it or not, that's the way the world is.
The next place to meet someone that has money is definitely a department store, a nice department store, close to the men's section or in the men's section. Most likely if they're shopping in there and it's early or middle of the day, and they may have some money, okay?
They are typically open about their love lives and are known to celebrate their relationship or partners, frequently posting them on social media, showcasing proposals, anniversaries, dating stories, fights, various ups and downs that make their romantic lives. Their family becomes their most integral part of their lives as they get older. They can go from the life of the party it girl to involved mothers if they decide to get married or have children. Uttara Phalguni, being located in the sign of Vedic Leo and the beginning of Virgo, often deals with major themes of romantic conflict. All nakshatra placements undergo their own traumas, as I briefly mentioned in part 1 of this study. Venusian women, often more strongly than other placements, have to deal with racism and classism, as Venus is connected to culture and society. Saturnian women, often dealing more strongly with personal or sexual violations along with public shaming, as Saturn is connected to the planet of power, control, and boundaries. I've seen many Uttara Phalguni women deal with issues repeatedly regarding verbal attacks to misogynistic people.
Wait, tell me about the responses, because that's interesting, because a lot of people might think that would be something that happens like in a Western country or in another, but this was in South Africa.
In South Africa.
Yeah, you had won a predominantly black country, and yet there were people who said to you, hey, we love you, but...
Yeah, so I first won, and I got a lot of comments where, you know, a lot of people said, oh, is this the one this year? She's so underwhelming. I got comments like, she's a downgrade from the others that we've had. And this was only from people in my country as well. And then it got more international as people found out that I was going to do Miss Universe. And then international people as well started, you know, commenting in.
To domestic violence.
I had such a heavy burden being a child. I was always walking around on eggshells. I wet the bed until I was about 8 years old, always having nightmares because of the physical abuse that I witnessed for so many years of my life.
No, for me, you remember that one incident I had with that one guy that I was dating, where I had to pull a knife out on him. And I remember grabbing a big old knife from the kitchen and hiding in his son's room. And I never forget, he came through the back sliding door like on a creepy creep, like he was gonna like sneak up on me or something like that. You know what? Spike Lee saved me from that one.
Wow.
Because Spike had been calling me about Girl 6. I used Spike as an excuse to get on that plane. We're gonna work this out, you know. I got on that plane and he never saw me again.
Right. So yeah, I was in a really crazy situation when I was like 18, like right before I met you guys, actually. Before I came to the stations, and when I first signed my deal, I was in a physically and mentally abusive relationship, and it was really bad. It was very scary.
It is because of their sometimes turbulent upbringings that they are one of the major placements that calls out trashy or misogynistic behavior in men.
Looky here. Now, don't those fellas look interesting? We have here the flavor of mocha nuthead with a little Jerry Curl coffee cream. And over there we have a little nappy road.
Oh my God! You so ugly, you look like an extraterrestrial.
The hell up.
I'm gonna try to get through this. I would take this a lot more seriously if you didn't look like Clippy. Oh my God. Dog, come on.
Sun-ruled women are more likely of the nakshatra placements to remain single, childless, or unmarried, as they are not inclined to traditional gender roles. However, if they do decide to get married, they need to be able to keep their independence to feel appreciated. Their longest marriages, from my observations, seems to be with Jupiterian K2 or moon-ruled men.
Judy? Was it all a scam?
Yes. I'm a cop, Charles. I was just doing my job.
And Saturnian men for non-traditional relationships. Uttara Phalguni natives are very individualistic, meaning they go by their own rules, which gives them very unorthodox dating lives when it comes to gender norms. This includes dating younger men, being the breadwinner, and sometimes, as I mentioned before, having no desire for kids and marriage. It is because of this bachelorette behavior that they are described as masculine or wearing the pants within a relationship. Sun-ruled women are more likely to be given the title strong black women. From my observations, sun-ruled women and men aren't picky about their sexual conquests or dating partners, nor do they usually define themselves by having a specific type.
So what is your type of guy? What is your type of figure in a guy?
I don't really have a type, really. I mean,
That, you know, the fella in the pants who goes on before me, I was going to him, I was like, he's really fit, and he's like, do you want me to tell him that he's really fit? And I was like, no, I've got a boyfriend, I'm just saying he's fit. And he was like, why don't you like me? And I was like, you're too...
Unlike Venus-ruled women who may prefer guys who make them laugh, are Moon-ruled women who put an emphasis on attractiveness.
Every guy that I really fell in love with, they just always had a cute face.
Sun-ruled women are generally about someone who may have a passion for life. What Sun-ruled women look for in a partner is their equal. Someone who understands them, someone who treats them nice, someone who is a good person, and someone who is compatible with their lifestyle. Part of the personality of these natives is in their younger age, they can be less talkative or expressive about their thoughts or emotions. They may not be given the avenue or tools to explore their inner world and become out of touch with their emotions. It is with age or with personal development that they can begin to explore their emotional landscapes and tackle the demons of their past. I have observed many Sun-ruled men and women suffer from depression.
Jada says she battled severe depression for years. Looking back, Jada admits she thought success would solve all of her problems, and it took a while to break that mentality.
As the light they shine on others, they do not often shine on themselves. In terms of appearance, Sun-ruled women are appreciated for their bodies. The Sun-ruled women that were chosen love to exercise and to keep in shape. Sun-ruled women body types usually fall into the category of rectangle or pear shape. When they are not overweight, they are known for being more naturally toned and having an athletic build. Usually the pear-shaped Sun-ruled women are known for being very voluptuous. Their bottom half is usually slightly bigger than the top, giving an almost hourglass shaped form. It is noted that they are usually skinny or petite when they are younger, and as they age, they can become more curvy and fuller. Unlike Mars-ruled women who tend to be chubbier or fluffier when they are younger and usually lose weight as they become older or become more into fitness, or they may change their body by surgical means. Of all the planetary and astrological figure types, Sun-ruled women were criticized in a more specific way than I have seen with Venusian or Saturnian women when it comes to others having not so nice things to say about their appearance. Quite often, Sun-ruled women were criticized for being skinny or called boyish. This more so pertains to the rectangular shaped Sun-ruled woman type, and due to a lot of sexism and racism, Sun-ruled women were most commonly called men or compared to men when it came to their appearance. Those who often make these ignorant statements claim that Sun-ruled women are muscular, obsessed with fitness or sports.
You told them when we were on the field?
Yeah, she got us on the field. I told them, everybody, that she got us on the field with the Vikings, and I can't get anywhere near the Cowboys.
Another observation I've made about the appearance is a lot of Sun-ruled women do not shape their eyes to be more round on the inside of the eyebrows, pointing closer to the forehead. In fact, many others prefer a more square look depending on the other planetary placements. The reason that I mention this is this particular eyebrow shape is more commonly found in men or is more associated with a masculine look. In terms of their own appreciation for their own bodies, Sun-ruled women are most proud of their backsides or their rear ends.
Actually, there's a lot of women that worry about their figure and they want to keep weight off, but you worry that your booty's going to get too small. Is that true with all the working out that you do?
Yeah, because, I do Taebo and I do a bunch of workouts all the time. Right. And sometimes I have to worry because next thing I know, I don't want to have a long back. So I always make sure whenever I'm working out, I'm like, please keep the booty.
Okay, I've been 22 years with a skinny body. I really want to get this back.
Peaches, I see something has grown since you were 16.
Their head shape is frequently oblong or oval. They are not known for having high-pitched voices. In fact, some of them may even have deeper voices. They usually have a medium-sized mouth with smaller eyes, a more relaxed demeanor, large to medium nose, with full lips, but a smaller mouth. There's also a tendency for round chins and for a more square or wider jawline. Their cheekbones and their foreheads are usually the same width. Another thing that is very notable about Uttara Phalguni women is there's a tendency for dimples. When it comes to their hair, sun-ruled women love wearing their natural hair or Afrocentric hairstyles. Twist outs, braids, afros, whatever style is most connected to their culture. Their hair can be an emotional subject for these individuals, and the actions or circumstances surrounding their hair, such as the cutting of their hair, losing it, covering it, wearing it in its natural state, often becomes a major topic of discussion. People don't hold their opinions back when it comes to sun-ruled women's hair.
It depends what your hair wants to do. You really have no say.
I feel like you're having a very Mad Men moment, which is very appropriate.
Clean lines, very sleek.
No, but relax it.
Yeah, what?
Relax it.
But relax my hair?
There may be a period in their lives where they may end up embracing a shorter hairstyle.
As an actress, I actually had what I call hair exhaustion. So I think I was ready for the big chop when I did it. And I have to say, as terrified as I was, it has been so liberating and freeing.
Holy mother of Jesus, she's a man.
The sun-ruled nakshatra always follows the Venusian-ruled nakshatra. And as mentioned in my Uttara Ashada video, because Venus is connected to society, conformity, and cultural values, the sun following Venus often becomes about breaking away from the group and what is expected, and embracing your individuality and connecting to your true self. It is in this way sun-ruled women will challenge the beauty standards set in place, as individuality is of the utmost importance to sun-ruled women. Due to sexism and gender expectations of society, sometimes these women will face ridicule for not fitting the standard appearance. Uttara Phalguni women are highly likely to push back against the current beauty standards, rather than conform and assimilate, which is more common for Venusian women.
Black women's hair is political. What does sort of the larger society say is beautiful? It's straight hair. And so you have young girls who are growing up with that in their heads. And it's something that I want to talk about and want to address and want to challenge.
There is nothing more powerful than owning your hijab, owning your identity, showing up into these spaces with whatever you're comfortable with. And so I would recommend to especially young Muslim girls, do not feel the need to conform and to change or to water down your hijab. Like, own it proudly and the right people will accept you.
Uttara Phalguni style takes a few standout forms. As mentioned before, these women can be described as tomboys, especially when younger, and can present themselves in a traditionally male tomboyish aesthetic.
Well, I have a lot of brothers, and I was really rough when I was younger.
Okay.
So playing basketball was just something that we all did together. And but as I got older, I was like, I don't need my nails done. So I didn't really hang in with that.
Another observation is sun-ruled women will prefer a sleek and sexy style. Different from Puvar Phalguni women, who are often colorful and experimental with patterns. Sun-ruled women are also less glamorous and camp compared to Uttara Phalguni women, who can be diva-esque in their presentation. Uttara Phalguni women prefer, overall, more mute colors, and particularly black, which applies to most sun-ruled women. White is a second favorite for these women, though usually men's second favorite is gray. In terms of makeup, sun-ruled women prefer a more natural look with lots of bronzer. Most of the time, they prefer no makeup at all.
Sorry, you're barely ever with makeup on your IG story. You're always natural, and I love that. Do you think it gets easier as you get older to just bear it all?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think these days it's we're flooded with all these makeup ads and all these different things. Yes. I think it's important to see the true value in yourself and just being yourself. Yeah.
Generally, Uttara Phalguni women are known for having naturally clear skin with smaller pores, similar to Puvar Phalguni women. Serums are a popular choice for Uttara Phalguni natives. However, they may still commonly break out on their T-zone and will usually have a combination of dry and oily skin. Common products include rose water, aloe vera, homemade face masks, drinking lots of water, and the most important tip is to moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. When it comes to exercise, sun-ruled women are a little bit different than Venusian or Saturnian women. I've noticed sun-ruled women tend to be more adventurous in their workouts. such as jumping on trampolines, hiking, snowboarding, obstacle courses, marathons, extreme boot camps, horseback riding, swimming, especially when they are younger. They may not prefer the typical go to the gym or at-home workout programs when they are younger. However, when they are older, they may stick to more simple routines to save time. Their workout focuses on their core. If a sun-ruled woman is into fitness, she will likely want to work out every day. When it comes to food, sun-ruled women are usually not foodies. But here are some popular eating and drinking habits. They prefer generally a balanced diet, meaning there are no cheat days. It is only a matter of portion control.
I don't feel like I'm focused constantly on my food choices. I just try to make good choices when I can, and then if I want to indulge, I indulge. And I find that that balance is as good for me as being really strict, because I feel like you should be living in a space of joy. That's an important nutrient for your diet.
They are not as restrictive as Saturnian women, and they usually do not go on crash diets or fad diets like Venusian women.
Get whatever you want, baby.
Let's just share a 20-piece.
20 McNuggets for only $4.99? Oh man, she's beautiful, smart, and sensible. Jackpot!
They are also not known for their cooking skills, and you may find a good amount of sun-ruled women preferring things like salad. Lots of them love wine, sometimes beer, love eating lots of leafy greens. Fruits are a must. Eggs and bacon were very common, or turkey bacon, along with sushi and salmon, pasta and rice dishes. Lots of them prefer healthy juices, smoothie, and lots of water. It was all about consistent choices. Something of note is a lot of people made comments on sun-ruled women's temperament when it came to getting older. People perceive them to be more grouchy as they got older, or to be someone who is less joyful in comparison to their youth. However, this is not the case for all sun-ruled women, but it was common to see that a lot of sun-ruled women did express that they found the aging process to be very difficult, which was not the same in comparison to Saturnian ruled women, who generally felt a little bit more welcoming towards aging. Sun-ruled women are very amazing, great motivators, exemplary leaders, and very beautiful women. And it has been wonderful to do a video on this incredible placement. I hope to see you guys next time with whatever I'm planning next, and au revoir.